welcome back to the channel. Let us talk about the measurement of the progress, more specifically the burn down chart. The question is, why do you use the burn down chart? The answer is to actually measure the progress within the sprints themselves. So what this actually means is that the burn down chart actually needs to show uh, the likelihood of the sprint to actually be completed. Now, as you can see from this image right here, first of all, what you need to know is that basically there is an x-axis and there is also a y-axis. So those two. On the horizontal line, there is a definition of the time, and on the vertical line, there is the definition of the amount of work that actually has been done. Now, from this specific example that we can actually see right here, the gray line is the line that we are actually going through the progress. Now, this red line that goes over it, it's basically the schedule itself. Now, if the red line is actually above the gray line, so this means that we are actually not on the schedule. So we need to see what was going on in there. And as you can see, it goes from here. And if we actually, if it goes down a bit, that means if it's below this line right here, below the gray line, that means that the work has even been completed before the time that was actually being planned to be, well, like that. So as you can see right here, the schedule is basically like going all over the place. So if we actually take a better look at this report, we're going to see a chart that is going to be shown to us. And that chart is going to be from the specific sprint. Now it seems like it's not loading. I don't know why. Let's go. No? There we go. All right, so the very first thing that you're going to notice are these two options in here. So you can select from the sprints in here, and you can also select the type of the estimation technique that was actually being used in here. So when it comes to the Scrum, the best practice is to use the story points, and it has been set to from my side that actually it's within the story points themselves. So even though I don't really have the guideline here, I can actually go and read these values from here. So if we actually start from here, we can see that there were start of the sprint, basically like saying there are 0 story points, that was a flat line. Now, what actually happened at this same day is that there was a change of the scope where the issue has been added to the sprint. And now this is actually on the 3 story points. So if you imagine if there was a line right here, we pulled these lines here, and there is a dot. There is a dot in here. So the story points of 3, and we can actually see that basically, well, in the time it's actually being showing the days. We can see that on this day, there was an issue that has been actually added. But if we actually go a bit further, we can actually see that another issue has been added just right here. Now, if we're actually going through, a simple logic right here, if it's on the number 7, that means that from the 3 story points, we went all up to 7 story points. So this means that this specific issue that has been added is worth for 4 story points. And that is indeed what actually happened. So there was a change in the scope itself. Now, if we also take a look around, we can actually see that between the 23rd of April and May 1st, there was actually another issue that was added in here. But the problem is, and we can actually see the flat line in here, is that this issue hasn't been estimated yet. So what is the action in here? So you might ask. Well, the action in here is to raise this for the product owners, so everyone can actually uh, ask for this to be estimated. Now, if you're actually asking about the estimation techniques and everything, there are a couple of estimation techniques out there. There is like a Fibonacci sequence. There is an interesting estimation technique that is creating this gamifying experience for the Scrum team, which is the planning poker. But that is something that is out of the scope for this particular video. Now, if we actually go here, we can actually see, well, basically nothing was happening in here. So there's a flat line. It seems no work has been added. But what happened in here? So the line goes down. So if the line goes down and it goes to, like, if it goes to 3 story points, that means that this issue that had 4 story points was actually being completed. And we can actually see now that the story points was actually being a number 4. There is a flat line in here, so none of the things happen. But if we actually go around here, so this is almost, yeah, this is almost, I can say this is like the 15th of May. What actually happened in here? Oh, it's 14th of May. I was close. So what happened is, since the line even goes up, that means that another issue has been added, but from the 3 story points, now it's actually going for the 8 story points. So this means that this issue is more heavier than the previous ones, because it is now worth of 5 story points. And some time actually passes, nothing was basically going on in here, and there was this another one that was actually being added to the scope, where the scope was changed, but the line didn't change because there was no story points that were added for this specific feature. It's just there. So those also needs to be specified. Right, so that is how the burn down chart actually works. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video. Bye.